Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, a real American hero, the classic review of Tripwire. And I'll just start off by saying, no, this is not my original Tripwire, as it is one of the figures I never had because, well, at the time I thought he was dumb. As you can see, many of these figures are my original figures. I was pretty spoiled, but for some odd reason, I never wanted this guy. There's a few guys that I never wanted, and by the time I would have wanted him over someone, let's say, like Crystal Ball, he was long gone and off the shelves. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this. Before we even start, he does have a space here, and while I was kind of prepping him to make sure that he was ready to do the review and everything, yeah, well, I kind of realized that the idiot that I bought this off of used a self-tapping screw that put through there, and I think it actually broke the middle piece off. Um, he does still stay together, but there is a gap because I replaced the screw, and yet it wasn't tightening it how it should. So it's disappointing. He stays together, but what can you do, right? You buy something off eBay, that's the type of stuff that you might get. Anyway, here we go. We're going to take a look at this guy. Now that I look at him over time, he's actually pretty cool. The landmines, the metal detector, searching for some cash. I mean, this guy probably had so much change in his pocket, unlike the rest of the Joes. But we're going to take a look at him, go over all of his detail and all that other good stuff. All right? So anyway, if you like this guy, maybe you were like, he's my favorite guy. How could you not want him? Please, in the description, yeah, tell me the story. Tell me why I was such a fool not to want this guy. But before we go any further, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video of a figure that I hated as a kid, but now I have. Alright, and here we have a Tripwire, and like I mentioned before, this is not my childhood one, as, well, I never had him. He was a figure that I did not want, that I didn't care about, or else I'm sure I would have had him. So let's start off with his accessories, as we always do. So first off, we're going to look at his mine detector, and I do think this is actually really cool when you actually look at it. Now, once again, not having this as a child, there were things that I obviously never noticed. So quickly, we're going to look at the bottom here. Now, this is obviously where you're detecting the metal or mines, however you want to say it. It looks like it's got a couple little lights that would probably lights that are supposed to be there. I don't know. I've never had a mine detector. So if someone knows, you can feel free to tell me. But you just got a little bit of detail there. And what I think is one of the coolest things with this is that they took the time to detail the wire that is obviously going to have to run down here and all the way to the backpack. So the wire wraps all the way around, all the way up top here, past the handle, and out through here. So I do think that is an awesome little detail. Again, something that, I mean, who's really thinking about that? I mean, people that are putting trigger guards on, you know, 80s little O-ring stuff. That's the type of people that were doing it. Then you got your handle, and then you just got a little brace here so it can support. It doesn't stay on all that well, I'll be 100% honest. So here is his backpack, and once again, it is shaped to fit his back. Then we look at the front. What I would assume down here might even be a speaker. Let me know if I'm wrong to alert you that you've come across a mine there, right? Here's where it's going to plug into. It looks like you got a bunch of little lights down here. But one of the coolest things that this thing did come, and I will even admit this as a kid, is the little mines that come out. And I know they tried doing this in Classified, where they gave you 2 mines. The problem was they put the peg on the bottom. Now this one here, when you take a look at it, it has a little notch here, so you can peg each one in here individually. But even on the bottom here, you got a little bit of detail for the mine. This is obviously where you're going to step, and that's when you know you are in some major trouble. And yes, all 3 of them do come out. At least they should all come out. So all 3 of them are going to come out, which is nice because this is world building at its finest, when we didn't even realize what world building was So I'm willing to bet, and if you have a story, please tell me, of kids that put these in front of their headquarters, or maybe in front of their terradrome, that they wanted to make sure that whoever was coming in was going to have to watch out for it. And from what I can tell, is they sit in there pretty well. They just use a little bit of pressure here. And once again, years later, this thing fits perfectly fine. As for Tripwire himself, we can take a look at him. And you can see there's a little bit of a scuff on his nose. Again, wasn't mine. Now, I did mention earlier this here, when I ordered him, again, not my childhood one, I went to try and fix this before I did the opening of the review, and I went to swap out the screw and realized whoever had this, there was an idiot that just put a wood tapping screw in. So it's probably broken out the inside of this. He holds together perfectly fine. I'm okay with it because it's just for my personal collection, but it is disappointing that someone who's selling this, and one in some relatively good shape, would do something so stupid. So anyway, we don't get to see his face. We got a little piece for his ears. We got the visor here that's going to protect his eyes, and then obviously his chin strap that goes all the way down here. And then it's just going to wrap around here. And it looks like here underneath is probably a headset, to be honest. All right, and all this kind of wraps around. It does look decent. I always thought it was kind of a weird head shape, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Here's his little plate guard. I'm not really sure what it is. It's a chest protector. And there you have your buckles that are going to keep this on. And this wraps around his neck. So it's going to wrap around his neck and wrap around the small of his back here. And there you can even see the little clasps that are meant to hold it on. So this guy probably would need help getting this thing on. You got his nice green suit. And here we have is that his stripes right there? You got this nice protective glove here. Obviously, in my opinion, if the mine goes off, if you're trying to defuse a bomb, I don't even know if I'd want to live if it went off and just certain things were protected, to be 100% honest. But here you have this nice detail in the glove here. And again, this is not a figure that can really be reused. All right. Or at least some parts of him can't be reused. And again, O-rings didn't really do a lot of that. Here we have the buckle. There we have the belt, and then the buckle. Again, they got rid of the straps. Now, I don't know if that would be something realistic, but I feel like having the straps there show how the belt stays on. And underneath here, we got a little bit of guard that's going to protect his crotch, which, let's be honest, is pretty important to a person. There we have his little back pocket. We got the pistol here. Again, there's no strap around it. It's just integrated in, painted a little bit different color. And then once again, we have the nice gray boots here. Nice little wrap around it here. And once again, I'll mention here, all the wrinkles in the boot. All right. So every time you see these wrinkles, whether it be kind of in the thighs, right over here, this is detail that, again, I didn't notice as a kid. Maybe you did. All right. Let's see the articulation. Still not able to move the neck up and down, but they do move side to side. O-rings are never going to have a problem with the T-pose. They swivel right here. You get a 90-degree bend at the elbows. There's your Jean-Claude Van Damme. They twist back and forth, up and down. And then you do have your 90-degree ankle bend, or not ankle bend, knee bend. Now, again, if you're new, you don't know what an O-ring is, it is because there's a ring, a rubber band inside there that is an O-ring. So, as for this guy, I have to say, looking at him as an adult, all right, and this is how I kind of mentioned the backpacks, they follow the back. And again, the way they molded this, all right, so it's going to go over this way, and then the hole is all the way up at the top there. it makes it difficult for him to hold this into his hand. O-rings don't hold things the greatest, especially if there's not a stock to point them in the right direction. So you're going to have, you can kind of have a little bit of a problem getting this to connect and stay in a nice looking manner. But I do have to say that as an adult, having this guy and having your guy that's going to go out there and check for, you know, landmines or disposal of bombs is pretty important, and I really do like him now as an adult when I look at him. So anyway, that is your Tripwire review, your classic review of your G.I. Joe Real American Hero line. All right, so there you go. That is the review of Tripwire. Again, probably not the job that I would want in the military. Sure, they give you a little bit of armor, but let's be honest, if you do survive, you're going to be in so much pain and so much hurt. I'm not sure if I would really want to. But anyway, you need these guys, clearly. And again, looking back at it, I feel completely different about this character than what I actually did back then, because we grow up and we see it, and the classified version is absolutely amazing. So anyway, there you go. Tell me a story about it. Maybe it was your first show. Maybe this is what you got you into G.I. Joe. Hell, maybe you had a family member that actually used this. Or maybe you just had one of those crazy dads or uncles that every time you went to the beach, they were walking around with the metal detector, and you're like, I should get this guy. He's clearly looking for he's looking for change, just like Uncle John was. But I'm going to get out of here. I've wasted enough of your time, and I do appreciate it more than you know. But please, if you like this type of stuff, you like looking at classic reviews, going back in time and just taking yourself out of the day-to-day work of paying bills and doing all that family life stuff, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here, and you're going to be like, hey, do you have a video of a figure you like? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. Right up here is the Wolverine, and down here is a playlist of all the G.I. Joe Real American Hero figures that I've done. Take care.